What's up, guys? How's it going? So we're gonna go ahead and be creating the PM session today. I kind of sent this out late. I was expecting that we would actually come up and take these highs out, but as soon as I started preparing this Zoom session, we already have started going upwards. So we'll see what good movements we get besides this one here. I should expect a continuation higher though. I know that you guys might see this imbalance in here on the 15-minute time frame, but I don't think that's really too much to get concerned about. We'll see if anything changes though. So I will be expecting, like I mentioned, bullish prices for this session today. We could retrace down and probably test this level here, which is this low that we had before this run up. But overall, I would not want it to see it break down lower than the red levels that we have here. If we do break down lower than these levels, then we are going to head down lower. But I do expect mostly higher prices still, and possibly reach up for the liquidity above these highs here and these highs up above here as well. So we'll see if we get that movement that I'm anticipating right now. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, we already came down and took this low out as a means of liquidity there. So we came down, took that low, and we're since then been pushing up. So I would like for this 4-hour candle to hopefully give us a bullish close for today. With this movement just being a false movement or a manipulation below this low and then heading up higher once again. So we since then taken out lows here as liquidity, and we left liquidity above the highs in here. So let's see if the PM session gives us that movement up higher for NASDAQ. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. But mainly, I do believe that we should keep on heading higher for NASDAQ. And we should be closing this 15-minute candle in about 2 minutes at 1:30, and we should be opening a new 15-minute and 30-minute candle as well. As long as, I mean, also with the 5, 3, and 1 minute, obviously. Essentially would be best if price stays above this high in here and continues going higher. Pretty much anything between the high here and this high here, I believe price should be kept above that and keep heading higher for this high here. And hopefully we should get a stretch up higher into the imbalances here on the 1 minute and the higher highs, or the highs up here as well. Like I mentioned, we should be seeing that a bullish run for the PM session. If you look at what we've done today, we've pretty much opened up in New York session with the consolidation, came down lower, then higher. So we took out both liquidity of pre-New York session, and then we came all the way down, taking out Monday's low here, Monday's New York sessions low, right there. Okay, so since we've came all the way down, taking that low, we expanded up, consolidated a little bit in here, and then expanded up once again. So since we already took out lows, the only thing left here, or the liquidity that remains for today's intraday session, would be the buy side liquidity. That's pretty much what I believe we should be aiming for on the PM session for NASDAQ today. Then again, for those that are tuning in just barely, we preferably don't want to see price, or we want to see price be held up above this square here, above this high here and this high here. We should not see price come through that or trade through that, mainly if we're going to keep on aiming up for a bullish run. I'll keep the chart on 1 minute time frame. That way you guys can see more of the fluctuations in price. On the short-term basis, we have created a little bit of liquidity below this low with this run up here. So it's possible for price to come down for the low and still be bullish. We just don't want to see it break much of this expansion in here. And for today, I'll be uploading a new lesson to the YouTube channel. It's going to be about support and resistance, using quarters theory for support and resistance. So it's going to be an interesting topic for you guys. And like I said, once we start uploading more and more lessons to the YouTube channel, they're going to be a little bit more detailed and a little bit more complicated. I'm just trying to upload pretty much from somebody that hasn't or doesn't know pretty much a lot about trading and knows and wants to start learning how to trade. That's pretty much how I've been uploading the content, how I would show somebody from zero. But once we start uploading more and more lessons, we should start getting into the really good stuff or our topics or lessons later on. So I want you guys to look at how we've opened in this candle. And since we've opened, we've only been trading higher. If we stretch the chart as much higher as we can, you'll see that there is actually no wick lower. So that's good. That means that there should be some volume in this candlestick, and we should be able to keep on pushing higher above this high and continuing higher. If we do trade lower than the open, then that could be problematic for the upside that I'm expecting. But essentially, we should keep on going higher for NASDAQ until we reach the liquidity above these highs here. They want to see price stretch up, make new higher highs. Currently, it's just pretty much consolidating inside of this range in here from this high down to this low. We're pretty much in the middle, just jumping around inside of that range. So with this candle, I want to see this candle hopefully start stretching up higher. I don't really want to see it trade much lower than this low, because if it does, it's probably going to want to come down for the low down here as well. As you guys can see, we took out this low, so that's why I mentioned we take this low. It's mostly going to want to come down for this low, so we'll see. Right now, if this up candle here provides resistance, it's going to come down here. But if we slice right through it, it's going to come up for the high here. We're using the body of this up candles here just to measure order flow and see if it respects this level as resistance. Like I mentioned, it's going to want to come lower, but if it goes right through it and closes it above it, especially if we take out the open of this down candle here, if we go above there, that means that it's going to be ready to possibly continue up towards the uptrend that it's in right now. So far, it's closed under it and has been rejecting since. It had created relative equal lows in here as well. So we'll just see if price might want to retrace down below this low. What are footprint charts, Jimmy? Not sure what that is. That's the first time I've heard of that about that. And since I haven't heard about it, I don't think I used them. But I'll Google it. But oh, you mean I think they're called differently as well. They have a different name, right? Like volume, something about volume, I think. But yeah, no, I don't use none of that. I don't think that's necessary. That's just another indicator pretty much that is a distraction. Um, yeah, I forgot what the other name was for those charts. I think it's is it still frozen? Let me see. It's because I was googling it on a different web browser. But yeah, those charts, they have a different name as well besides footprint charts. I just can't remember the name right now. Okay, so far price has been heading down. I mentioned we're going to keep on going higher. We should not really see it go much lower than this low here. We trade down below this low and pretty much reach the red levels down here. That's possibly going to come down for those sells. So if we do reach down here, I'll probably start looking for a selling opportunity. But for now, I just wanted to keep on seeing price, see what price does with this 15, or actually how we close with this 15-minute time frame or 15-minute candle. I think it's called depth of market, which is the other name of those charts that you're talking about. I think they're the same, which is labeled like as a DOM, depth of market. We got about 2 more minutes for this candle to close here. I'm looking at price with this information here. We actually have, if we do trade lower than this and actually come for this low, I think we're actually going to stretch a lot lower into this low here. So let me just mark that sell side liquidity real quick. So the liquidity pools remaining for the week on the upside, we have the buy side here. On the downside, we have the sell side there. And inside of this range from low to high, We also have this as buy side and this as sell side, but I'll just have the external ones for now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the ones I Googled. If you look at DOM as well, or depth of market, I think it's pretty much the same ones. Not 100% sure, but I believe it's like the same ones. I typed it out for you in the chat. But yeah, I don't use none of that at all. All I pretty much use is just the levels that I usually use for support and resistance, and just compile that with the time cycles, which I won't be touching into what the time cycles are. I'll just leave that for the one-on-one mentorships. But later on, probably way later on, I'll probably teach it on the once this service becomes private. I might teach it, but like I said, later on. I'll probably get into some lessons before the times I actually start teaching the time cycles. Okay, so I want you guys to look at what we've done for the PM session. So we have gone up, had a really nice stretched up, consolidated without going any higher here. We ripped through this high here, which I mentioned. If we're going to go higher, it should stay essentially above this square that I highlighted here, and it definitely should not break under these levels here if it's going to keep on going higher. Okay, if we do trade below these two red lines in here, that means that we're definitely going to go lower and possibly take out this low here, and pretty much the sell side liquidity that I tapped out here. So what I'm going to be waiting for right now is for a nice retracement for me to give for the market to give me a selling opportunity. And all the examples or the example entries, I rather have you not take it as a financial advice, because I'm only going to be paper trading it or using this to outline, because I'm not an actual financial advisor. So you cannot make or lose money during our live streams. Okay, just be into that. This is just for educational purposes, so don't take it as financial advice at all. But I will be teaching you guys how to look for good entries or high probability entries. Last week we didn't take any because I was expecting it to be a hard market to trade. And if you look at the poll that I made, I think it was yesterday. It was either yet, and I think it was 2 days ago. I made a poll on Telegram, and the results of the poll was that for you guys, it was really hard for the market to be able to trade it last week, and also unprofitable as well. And that's why I pretty much stayed out of taking any trades last week. And the most important thing in trading is to learn when to not trade. That's probably the most important lesson for you to ever learn during your trading career, is knowing when to not take a trade. And last week was one of those examples where there was no trades taken, because we were able to identify the market conditions that which price was in. Okay, so there's 2 more minutes for this candle to close. That's gonna be good if we close under the red lines that I mentioned here. And once we do, we get a retrace. See, that's not good. I would have, well, we'll see if it still closes under it. If we close under it and then do this type of price action, that's pretty much how I would be looking for a sell. But essentially, I want it to close under it first. It's got about 30 seconds for it to give me that. And if the charge, if you guys see that it freezes, that's because I'm on a different chart looking at other things. So don't be freaked out about that. So yeah, the 5 minute looks like it closed above the two, well, just one red level. So we'll see if we get anything here. What price could do here is just from right off the bat, from right here, it could start going lower. But I would like for it to see if we are able to trade above this high first. And the reaction I would like for that once it reaches that high would be to pretty much right away just hit the high, just go a little bit higher and then keep on going lower. If we don't get that, that means it's just going to keep on going lower from here. So essentially, it would be best to get a higher retracement. But like I said, it could just keep on trading lower from here. But if we do get a higher retracement, it'd be nice. We actually get that. And our stop would have to be you know, it looks like it's heading lower without us. Possibly this next 5-minute candle might close below it. Below the red lines here, so let's just look at that real quick. Like I mentioned, like it's I wasn't really it would have been better if we traded above this high before going lower, but we could expect it to just not trade above that high and just keep on going lower, which is pretty much looks like it's what it's doing right now. We'll still give it a chance to see if it does go higher just to take out this high and then roll lower down. Yeah, it looks like it's going to remain heavy down towards the downside. And we'll have a new 1 hour candle opening in about 4 minutes. We'll see if we're able to catch some of that move with the next hourly candle. Currently, we've just tested the previous sell side liquidity that we took out after this run, this price run in here. So we could have a bit of a retracement there. You look at price, there's a small imbalance in here, which are coupled with the red lines that we have here. So we want to see if price does retrace down up here. It could use that as resistance and keep on heading lower.
Aquí tienes el recordatorio. Sacar para la cita. Aquí tienes el recordatorio. Sacar para la cita.
Looks like we're heading much, continuing lower now. To the sell side below this low here. And the sell side below this here. If we trade below it, as much as we can trade below it, could be pretty much the 52.75 level. And that would be inside of a really nice imbalance in here. So we trade below these lows, we could possibly hit that level there as support afterwards before having any major retracements in price. I don't think we should go any higher than this high anymore. I think we should just keep on rolling over into the sell side below here. Okay, so on the 1 minute, it's having just a minor retracement. But overall, on the 5 minute, I think it's just wicking just a little. I think we should still be able to continue down below this low. And the sell side below here. I think we should open a new 5 minute candle in about 2 minutes at the most. And if you look at the 4 hour, the reason why it's having a hard time going all the way through this low and here into the sell side is we're actually trading inside. Let me get this here. Inside of a 4 hour imbalance in here. Here we had a small retracement. As I mentioned, I don't think we should really go anywhere higher above these highs in here. We only had a retracement here to fill in a small imbalance in here, trading into this up candle. So it should start expanding lower. taking out this low, these lows down here, and stretching down into the sell side. And we actually have this as a new 5-minute candle, which just opened up. We do want to see it continue going lower still. If it trades under this low, I think that would be enough for it to just keep on heading lower and leaving the buy side here intact. So this low here would be the one that we would need to break to just continue lower into the sell side below this low and these lows down here. What I don't really like is how much we're starting to consolidate here, because if it keeps just consolidating around this area, it's probably just gonna stay in consolidation from this high here to this low. It's probably just gonna keep on consolidating around there. If we see any type of up movement that goes like really higher aggressively, that would be just an indication. If it goes aggressively up higher, it'd be just an indication that's just taking out this high in here and making a new higher high to go lower. But it seems that it's not going to do that since we already took out this low that I mentioned earlier. So by taking out this low here, we've already broken market structure, and it should just keep on going lower for this low now and the lows down here. So if it does keep on just going lower, that just means we'll probably miss the move because it's not giving any entry signal since we've been taking out this low out here. If we do retrace though, it'd be better for an entry, but if we just continue on lower, then I'll just let that price movement just go. We have a new 5-minute candle opened here. Still just inside of this range from the high and the low that I mentioned. So pretty much from this high down to this low. We're just ranging inside of it. My best scenario entry would be, like I mentioned, just reaching above this high in here. Let's go up to the 5-minute real quick. The price goes higher. Would essentially be entering right on this level there. And my stop should be I think the stop should be fine where it's at there. You would have sell side below this low in here, which gives us almost a 2-to-1. And then the most obvious sell side down there. Let's see if price just consolidates around here and we actually make the high around this area in here. This is around the time and price level. I should see price making the high before it starts coming lower. Sorry about that, guys. My dogs were going crazy right now. We now since opened up a new 5-minute candle as well. And a 15-minute candle also. Trying to expand a little bit higher. Looks like we might actually hit these levels before. If you guys are thinking of having trading as an industry or career, you guys can see that you're gonna need a lot of patience because most of the times markets do like just to consolidate inside of ranges. They might sometimes look like they're actually going to start heading lower because they're aggressively going down, but they're only going down for lows or liquidity and then coming back and consolidating. And as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, I said that we're most likely going to start consolidating inside of a range. And we've done so for about pretty much almost 30 minutes. It looks like that could be the real move now. So we have the low just below this low, or the liquidity just below this low. And these lows down here. Looks like we already tapped into these lows here. So anything left would be this low here and this low there. And if you guys look carefully, the actual big movement or the volume of the movement started right at the edge of my shaded box in here. That's why I was possibly thinking that we could have hit this level here, then started going lower around that area. But it looks like it just remained too bearish. I'm pretty sure the other indices probably did make another high in here, so look at these highs in here, and we'll look at the other indices right now. So this high with this high, you can see that how we made a lower high. I'm pretty sure we got it to US 30 or US 500. We possibly made a new higher high. No, they actually stayed about the same, so. I was right about the time where volume would start kicking in. I was only wrong about which price level it should have begun going lower. Because it looked like it just used this level here that I had initially as resistance. But anyways, we hit the other low here now. Let's see if price has that willingness to keep on expanding lower through this low here and reaching the higher sell side liquidity that we have down there. If it goes up higher than these highs here, I wouldn't really consider this as a sell anymore because we already taken this low here out and these lows here. So yeah, I would prefer for it to just keep on going lower and not having much of a retracement anymore. So that means that's going to be a missed trade for me. And the reason we don't want to see it come back up here anymore is because we already took a lot of, like I mentioned already, pretty much two lows or with sell side. If it starts pulling up, then it could mean that this could be a whole reversal, possibly looking for higher prices into this imbalance up here. Essentially would be best if it remains below these highs now. Because if it goes above these highs, I don't think it's going to be a raid in liquidity just to go lower again. It's possibly going to raid these high. If it goes up above these highs, it's probably because it's going to keep on going higher. Also gonna keep on going higher from here. Buy side liquidity, so it should expand higher. If it's gonna keep on going higher, it should not take this low out. The low from this up candle here should remain intact. So price should stay above the low here and just keep on going higher. In other words, if my entry would have been here, my stop would be down here and the take profit above these, which should essentially be about a 1-to-1 or 1.5-to-1. This level, I don't think this level should be traded lower anymore. This should act as support for price to keep on going higher. And remember, this low is the one that we don't want to see it break through if it's going to keep on going higher. If it breaks this low, it means that this was the retracement and it's going to go lower for the sell side that we have outlined here. But overall, if we look at price action, it's really just still sticking inside of this range. It's not really even going higher or lower. It's just consolidating in a straight line. So it's really low probability to be taking trades around this area. We're still inside of that consolidation. I'll give it about 5 more minutes. If we don't really do much in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'll just close the session out because we've been consolidating for quite a while now. Pretty much over 30 minutes already.
Very high stakes, I tried, very good. And that was the case with all of us here. Yeah, that really the first there, the ball really helps me. He's just the fact that gradually, part of the care, starting to walk, friends, the thing that came to late as well. When it's being out to the park there, or find that.
Yeah, I have a live trading tomorrow. I think it'll be in the morning. And it's gonna be for the Spanish community. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm doing English. And Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm doing Spanish. Yep, sounds good. I'll be doing them all throughout September. But I think I'm gonna close this one out for now because we really haven't done nothing here. We've just been consolidating still, not really making a movement. There's a chance for it to still go higher and lower, so there's really low probability in the markets for now. But if we do end up going higher, and still, if price will have the intention to go down for the sell side liquidity, we should not go anywhere higher than the 15,370. Let's call that 75 level. Let's round it up to 75. If it's going to retrace higher to go lower, it should not go higher than this level here. And if it does retrace higher, it could mean that it's just going to be generating liquidity below these levels to go lower. But only if if the retracement is not deeper than this level here. I think we should actually just test as much as the last red level that I have here to keep on going lower, but we'll see what price continues to do. I still believe sell side is what price should want to be aiming for the rest of today. But we'll have to close this session here for now, but I'll send the Zoom link tomorrow for the Spanish community. I'll transmit live the session live for the YouTube Spanish channel as well. But for now, that's gonna be all for today. Like I said, we've just really stuck in a really muddy consolidation here, not really heading anywhere. So thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yep, you're welcome, Manuel. Have a nice day, man. You too.